Precision Flying.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ScrapMan channel. Today we're going to be showcasing these two hovering aircrafts behind me. We're going to take a look at how each one handles. We're going to be testing out some of the limits with some precision landings on extremely small surfaces, and then we're going to have a music montage with some stunt flying and precision flying through a flight course I built that was way harder than I ever thought it was going to be. So stick around to the end, because I also put in a compilation of all the failed attempts as well. So let's get to it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have two different flying vehicles here, and they work a little bit different from each other. So we're going to start off with the simpler one over here, because this was the first one that I built. Now, I got into flying after I found out that you can actually map your hotbar items. So when I get in the seat and you see all these switches down there, you can actually assign them to different keys rather than your 1 through 0 numbers. And I found that out thanks to a fella named Dr. Navi. You may know him as the guy who built this Parhelion fighter jet here. I joined his server months ago and saw him flying this thing around, and I was like, how are you flying that thing so accurately? And he's like, oh, I just changed the key mappings. I'm like, you what? You can do that? He's like, yeah, just go into your controls. So if you go into your options, look at your controls, you can see that down near the bottom, you got your hotbar items, and these are all your switches when you assign them. So this is the control scheme I use that was recommended to me by Dr. Navi. It's TGFH for hotbar items 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice, TGFH is kind of like WASD, but just further inside the keyboard. And then for 5, 6, 7, 8, you have up, down, left, right on your arrow keys. And then 9 and 10, you can use R and Y, and that's kind of like the equivalent of using Q and E for your normal keys. So that's how we control these things, and I have two buttons there. One of them isn't connected to anything, but the other one is actually keeps my hover thrusters on. So these are the thrusters that equalize my my buoyancy, I guess you could say. So by pressing R, I can just turn those on and off and keep myself nice and equalized, hovering in the air there. And I do T and G to go up and down, F and H to go side to side like that, and then I have all of my arrow keys to go left, right, forward, back. Alright, so this is a very agile, as you can see, very agile kind of flying vehicle here. What I actually designed this thing to do is to be a precision flying vehicle. And what I mean by that is if I want to land somewhere, this has all the control that you need it to have and all of the visibility that you need it to have to land literally on the head of a needle or on the point of a needle. For example, we have this needle tower here. Now notice that I actually have a glass bottom to this thing, and it has a little kind of like an X in the middle, like X marks the spot. And that glass bottom is actually exactly where my center of gravity should be. So I'm going to attempt to land on this tower. Now the trouble is I'm looking at a 2-dimensional screen, and I have 3 dimensions of flight to look at. So right now it's really hard for me to tell how far forward or back I am from it. But if I'm like this, it's really hard for me to tell how high I am from it. So it's really tough since I need both hands on the keyboard to manipulate the camera as well. But you can see, actually, we've done it. I can just go ahead and turn those off and jump on out and check it out. We've just successfully landed on top of the antenna. So yeah, that is what this episode is themed, is precision flying. So my problem with this, what I didn't like about this, and what caused me to build this second one over here, is that I can only go forward if I tilt down. It's like a helicopter kind of design, where in order to go forward, you have to tilt your nose down, and this just doesn't look good, you know? It's like you're a little pancake flying through the air. So that's why I built this thing. And this was what actually ended up leading into the controls for the flapping bird as well. Now, this control scheme is exactly identical to the flapping bird. Now, as you can see, it has a pretty stable hover. We got our pitch and everything like that. Now the big thing with this is it's a lot heavier, so it's a little bit less agile. But rather than having to go forward like this, I've made something completely different. So check this out. So as you can see, it transforms into a jet pretty much. So this is like a real VTOL, and VTOL means vertical takeoff and landing. So it can take off vertically, and then it can transition into a jet with forward thrust instead of upwards thrust. So that's the cool thing about this, is you can go straight rather than without having to tilt your nose down. So there's a lot of fun things that I've learned to do with this thing. You can mess around with my R button, number 9, the one that activates the equalizer thrusters. You can switch that on and off while you're in forward mode to kind of equalize your balance there, because sometimes I might be going a little bit up and I can switch them off to go down a little bit, angle my nose up. But what I notice is that if I switch them off and have just my forward thrust on like this, and I angle my nose upwards, check this out. Can actually kind of do a vertical hover, and it's really fun. Alright, and then what I can do from there is get into like a death spiral. Alright, we're gonna slam into the mountain. Let me control myself here a little bit. Let's navigate through these trees. So I'm using just the forward thrust. I'm not using any of the stabilizer thrusters at all. Alright, and then actually we're on like the top of the hill here. Let's see if we can land. We're gonna do a vertical landing. Alright, let me get control here, get forward a little bit. And just like that. So, how's that for precision flying? Alright, so now I want to have a little bit more fun. We're going to see if we can do some really, really precise landings with the hovercraft, or not the hovercraft, but the other one, the more vertical takeoff one. And then we're going to get back to this vehicle, and we're going to do some stunt flying. Whoops. And that is not what I meant by stunt flying. Alright, so now what I want to do is you've seen me land on the tower. But I have another idea. Let's make the tower smaller. Let's actually see if I can use some precision flying here to help me out. I'm gonna go ahead and try to hover right next to this thing and build a little bit of a pillar right on top of it. Alright, let's see how this works. Alright, I think we're nice and stable. Now in my inventory, I need... Where is it? I want this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and... Where'd the tower go? Oh. Apparently we weren't as stable as I thought it was. Alright, gotta correct myself. Precision flying takes precision. Alright, there we go. Now I should be able to build just like that. Go up a little bit more. A little bit closer. Come on. Level off. Alright. Okay, now let's see if I can land on top of that. What do you guys think? Alright, let's get out of here first so that we're coming in nice and fresh. Gotta restabilize ourselves. And let's see how this goes. That is a much smaller target this time. Alright, so we're gonna come in nice and straight. I like how I can kind of line myself up with the little gap in the nose there. I can kind of point myself right at it. Alright, so we're gonna come in nice and slow. I'm gonna wait until we're getting kind of close. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and switch my camera angle. Oh. A little bit too fast, didn't realize I was that close already. Alright, where is it? Oh, wow. It is so hard to see. with the 2 dimensions. Alright, so moving in. Alright, it's right below me towards the rear. Alright, how high above it am I? Okay, I'm not high above it at all. Get myself centered again. Okay. We are very close. We just need to get it right in the middle of this X. And then we just gotta drop ourselves down nice and easy. Almost there. Almost there. Down. A little bit back. Down. Alright, I think we did it. Oh no. Alright, I think we did it. I think... Oh wait. Oh, I forgot to turn the thrusters off. Oh no, we're drifting. Come on, just a little bit more. There we go. Turn the thrusters off. Hop out. Alright, we have done it. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Precision flying at its best right there. Actually, you know what? I think there's one more difficult challenge. Alright, this one's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But, alright, I see it. I see it. Just gotta get down right on it. I think we might have it, guys. Yes! Okay, that was intense. But we have now balanced ourselves on top of a tree. What do you guys think of that? Next, we are going to go ahead and do just some fun stunt flying. Maybe like a music montage with some stunt flying. And we're going to have to use the other jet for that one. Alright, I have situated us on top of the mountain here, and we are going to do some stunt flying, starting from the top. Here we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode on precision flying using a few of my creations, and as promised, here are some of the failed attempts of me trying to get through that course. That took me way too long to get one solid take of the entire thing, so if anything, please leave a like for the pain I had to go through, and maybe a comment down below reassuring me that it was all worth it or something like that. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed already, and you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button now so that I can see you next time on the Scrap Mechanist channel.